Hello everyone. Well, here's just a quick recap of what we did last class. We were looking at these shapes and we decided that we were going to put them in order. Now, I had two different groups and we're all together as one big class today. But interestingly, two different groups took two totally different ways of putting them in order. The first class I taught looked at these two shapes and said, well, the blue one fits inside the yellow one, so the yellow one is bigger. And they equally said that the pink one fits inside the green one, and the green one's bigger. But then we had a bit of a scratch of our heads because we're not sure how to compare the size of these two groups. They don't nicely fit inside each other. Actually, when we measure the area of something, we can't measure it with a ruler because a ruler just measures a straight line, and we're looking to measure a space. The way we measure spaces is by looking at how many other shapes fit inside. And that's what we've been trying to do here. I just carefully line these shapes up. See how many can fit inside without overlapping. Now these rectangles don't fit very nicely. And for another reason, we don't really use rectangles for measuring area. The way of working out the size of the rectangle itself is more complicated than another shape. So we have a little look at these circles. Now I can definitely fit 9 circles in here. But these circles are a poor way of measuring the area because you can see lots of gaps. Yeah, these circles don't measure all of that area. They don't cover it all. Now, I can get the same number of these squares in my squares perfectly cover up that area. So that means they're measuring all of the area. Oh, that's nice. They fit together perfectly, unlike the circles, which just touch in one place and leave a gap. Squares are a great way of measuring area. This blue shape fits 9 squares, 9 square units. Now, I could use the triangles, but the problem with the triangles is twofold. Like the rectangle, they've got a slightly more complicated way of being described themselves, and that's the main reason we don't usually use them to measure area. But also, the triangles do fit together, but they only fit together when we make them into squares, like this. So why not just use squares in the first place? This little investigation I really enjoyed. And it shows us why we use squares to measure the space inside. Squares measure area. So now we've worked out how to measure area, we can go back. Let's have a look at these. The green square has, the green rectangle has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 squares in it. 12. The pink shape has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 squares in it. The blue shape has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares in it. And the yellow one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, oops, changed my color, 16. 16 squares in it. Okay, so let's write a unit next to each one. 12 squares, 9 squares, 8 squares, and 16 squares. So if we're going to put these in order like that, the smallest one, the one with the least space inside, is blue. Then pink. Then green. Then the biggest space inside a shape is the yellow. The shape with the biggest space inside is the yellow shape. Excellent. So there's a way of ordering these shapes. We can measure the space inside. That's called area. We measure it with squares. And here we are. We get the order blue, pink, green, yellow. The second group did something totally different. Because what the other group did is fascinating. The other group looked at this and said, I'm going to start measuring here and count how far around the shape. If each square is 1 centimeter, we've got 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters across the top, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 centimeters all the way around. And that's another important measurement. That's called perimeter. We had a look at 2 different ways of doing this. You could measure the side of the length of the side. Here, this one's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 centimeters. This one is the same length, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 centimeters. This is 1, and this one is 1. So the perimeter is 7 plus 7 plus 1 plus 1. 16 centimeters. Or you could use multiplication. This side is 4 centimeters. This side is 3 centimeters. This side is also 4. So we've got 2 times 4 centimeters. And that's 8. This side is also 3. So we've got 2 times 3 centimeters, which is 6. If we add those together, we get 14 centimeters in the perimeter of the green shape. Let's use that method here. 8, 2, 8, 2. We're calling them centimeters. So we've got 2 sides which are 8 centimeters. 2 sides which are 2 centimeters. We add them together to get 20 centimeters. The perimeter of the yellow shape is 20 centimeters. Now, if we put shapes in order according to their perimeter, we're going to get a different order. Yeah? We're going to get the smallest one is the pink one. At 12 centimeters. The next one is the green one at 14 centimeters. The next one is the blue one at 16 centimeters. And the last one is yellow. This is what it looks like when I have ordered my shapes according to perimeter.